me. He said, Karthik, you are a young middle class Indian. What do you understand about these things? I was irritated. I belong to this group which is middle class, urban, well educated. I think of myself as being worldly wise. And then I also belong to the bracket. I pay my tax, my income tax, my corporate tax, my service tax, my value added tax, and all other kind of taxes we are paid for it. I may not be a superman, but definitely I am something which is equal to a super cautious man. It seems there was a super cautious man who got into a bus. He bought 3 tickets. The conductor asked him, why did you buy 3 tickets when you are traveling alone? He said, I bought the second one just in case I was the first one. Then the conductor said, why did you? 15 seconds. Do you have a time?
Yeah.
Do you have a timer? Okay. Then he said, what will happen if you lose a second ticket? He said, I have the third ticket. Then he said, what will happen if you lose all 3? He said, I have a bus pass in any case. So we are like that. You eminent members of this audience, being an honorable exception, we are like this. We pay for our schools. We pay for the teachers of our schools. We pay for the furniture. We pay for the examinations. We pay for the bureaucrats from the schools. At the same time, just to be sure, we send our children to private school. We send them to a coaching class. Then we send them to a bridge school. Then we send them to a summer training camp. Then we also send them to an examination coaching. What is more interesting, more important than the politician did not agree with is we belong to this group. Again, you being the honorable exception. We are busy every day. We are Facebooking and Googling and YouTubing and we have to do so many things on Gmail, and of course at the end of the day we have to deal with angry birds. So we don't have the time. Of course we don't take Hindustan Times to rule youth in year study 2012 to say more than 42% or close to 42% of Indian youth do not vote and vote during elections. This is the latest survey. Of course we are busy. We are on the internet all the time. They have to deal with TV and cell phones and all kinds of things. Then we don't need to watchman to come up with a survey in 2010 about Indian middle class youth and then say, educated class are more likely to say voting is important but less likely to actually go out and vote. Next. And then we don't do research center or the election commission of India to repeatedly remind us that we urban Indian middle class youth know everything. But when it comes to voting, we probably have the lowest percentage of votes both in India and across. Last point I want to make is more seriously, my friend. Just maybe there is an opportunity, there is a case to be made for us, middle class, educated, younger generation Indians, to think of having a vote bank. Not vote bank of the traditional sort, but vote bank about all the religion, caste, community divides, and then realize the power of, if we are guilty of one thing, that is, we are guilty of not voting, maybe our vote does count, very bad politics can be eliminated. Thank you very much.
सब 15 सेकंड्स पे है रे।
अरे नहीं है रे।
अरे तू चेक कर, सबके ऊपर है। चेक कर, सेकंड क्विकली।
Hello, so you guys enjoyed it?
See, all of this is.
Okay, so Janta, you have any questions for him?
अभी रुक।
So let's take couple of questions. So any questions?
बहुत जल्दी जल्दी भाग रहे हैं। रुक जा भाई।
This is Mayawati.
No, but
Your name is Mayawati.
I don't see it's 15. Everything is working.
What is the process you can take, bring more people into the politics in generation?
So this is precisely the kind of driver that we need to address more and more, because we are precisely the audience that this presentation targets.
You have, this is again you are telling all people on social media. Real voting persons are in the villages, are somewhere, corner, who are illiterates. What is the process you are going to take? These people, you can't ban on these people.
We are hoping that patients will ban their house. My earliest appeal is we should start improving the culture. One positive trend I want to remind Madhareddy is that the percentage of voting Madhareddy is that the percentage of voting is actually improving. But it is so slight compared to the villages that we need to know about more.
I have one idea actually. If I get chance next time I am going to present there, that is politics can be made easy.
Okay.
I have beautiful presentation. I have presented.
Maybe next time as you are here, I will bring the audience and then we can hear that presentation.
So let's have any questions from
Sorry. Yeah, he has a question. One of the speakers. Take the mic. Hi, Karthik.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please tell me.
Just be loud enough. I'll repeat the question. Okay. Karthik, you can hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, great. So, I have a question. You had pointed out various interesting statistics, and the one was also on the internet, how busy we are with the internet. And to my understanding, 30% of the traffic that is happening on the internet right now is pornographic. So, what is your take on how can you leverage that part of the internet, 30% of surfing that is happening on the internet? How can you leverage it to bring back those people into the vote bank part? This is a difficult question, a challenging one, I'm very sure. But I think my eminent MLA colleagues from Karnataka who are watching photography on the episode, so they are better placed to answer this question. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah,
My name is Rajshekar Alipuram. You talked about this.
काम कर इसके बाद तो सामान नहीं है ना लाइट डालने के लिए
How about bringing people
ठीक है
to
बस
contest
प्रेजेंटेशन
for
है ना
middle class?
प्रेजेंटेशन रेडी है उसको बस
How do we
करके
reach
मशीन में बताएगा हाँ वो मैं
Again, one good
That will definitely, help the vote bank to increase among middle class segment.
Definitely. One good trend that we are seeing is over the past 10 years, number of middle class people trying to come into electoral politics is increasing. But again, that is the supply side. There should also be a demand side of that equation. People should actually vote for them, which is again middle class people should go out and vote in large enough numbers. We are simply not voting in large enough numbers. How many of the audience here has actually voted in an election, general election?
Okay, raise a hand. I also.
That is why this is an honorable exception that we see to a middle class India, educated India. Next please.
Yeah, he has one question. Can you just shout it out?
Yeah, see, what I'm trying to ask is, I'm 23 years old now. I've never voted. But, see,
Do you have voter ID card?
I don't have voter ID.
Is your name in the election list? Not
See,
not
what,
there.
no, what I'm trying to tell you is
Yes,
that I come from a middle class family as well.
sure.
And-
As do most of us.
Yeah, so the place where I stay, I mean the areas where I stay, I don't have, what I'm trying to say is that we don't have alternatives when I'm going to vote, and middle class families usually people go and get what they want in terms of education. I mean I can't go and vote in a village where I find the right person.
अच्छा यहाँ
Go
पर
and
बंदे को
vote for.
कमेंट कर रही है
हाँ हाँ
उनको
बस
रिस्पॉन्स
Are you talking about the lack of
Because
good enough
say-
candidates?
No, I'm saying there is jurisdiction in voting. That should be
could vote as all day.
फॉर्म बंद है ना पूरा
what I'm trying to say is in
हाँ.
middle class areas,
कोई कुछ
I have a few alternatives I can
Right,
vote.
so-
सोशल स्ट्रीम में डालना
But
चैट में
usually
डालना
middle class people work towards doing things for themselves.
तो इसमें ऑडियो वीडियो दोनों प्ले करते हैं इसमें वीडियो
No
जो
point,
इसमें
I
नहीं
mean, I don't see a point in voting.
इसके साउंड में डाउन
That is why we have a saying in English, impossible best is the enemy of possible good. If you look for that Superman to come so that you can go and vote for that Superman to become your MLA or MP, that day is never going to come.
No, but I'm
You have to kindly look at the best among possible alternatives. We will get to that. Thank you.
So all in all, like I think it's good to vote. Like people can argue this is not something which we can fix right here right now. It's something we have to debate all that.
It's
Definitely a wonderful speech. Thanks a lot. So that was amazing. Now moving on to the next Ignite talk. So almost every day you see or participate in talks that deal with why are the way things they are like why is it like this? Why is it like that? We just keep questioning these things. But we have a right to know about certain things, right? Like sometimes we just adjust. At least okay, I don't want to generalize this. At least I adjust.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes I have a right to information, but I I don't really, seek that information.
ये 0 seconds में
So now that I just, talked about right to information, our next speaker is Rakesh. Let's hear it from Rakesh, an RTI activist, on how he helps you and I exercise RTI. Can you please have Rakesh on stage?
कुछ वीडियो से the moment he starts speaking, हाँ sure ना अरे माइक तो दो यार वो छोटा भाई रंजित हमें वायर है देख के थोड़ा क्या प्रोजेक्टर का वायर है वहाँ पे प्रोजेक्टर वो स्ट्रीमिंग डालना था स्ट्रीमिंग में
Very good evening.
श्योर
We have had many revolutions in the recent past. The entire Middle East was a revolution where a lot of regime changes happened. It was a dictatorship, democracy, democracy. Now, I'm going to talk about our country. And there is one revolution that is in the making, which is bloodless, and that has the potential to change the country. Taking on from where Karthik left, so this revolution that I am talking about is the revolution of information. So through this talk I will take you through what it can do, the potential possibilities, and how it can change the way our democracy can function. Right. So I think you are familiar with this picture. So whenever the Aam Aadmi goes to a government office, I am sure this is how it looks like it, the maze. So I don't understand anything, whom to approach. So very complex. So they pass me from one bench to the other. So I end up taking a bite. All this happens because we don't have information. So one guy says go to the next guy, go to the next guy, go to the next guy, and you end up paying a right. This, like I said, this happens because of lack of information. So the last 60 years of democracy has turned upside down, where at one point of time citizen used to be the ultimate master. Now citizen is the politician and the bureaucrat is the ultimate master. The citizen is at their mercy. Now how can we change this? As in, is there a way to change this? And each of us, different sects of people, have different demands of rights. The woman has a right to know if her pension comes on time, or the rations, or she gets work under the mandated NREGS. The disaster, the Bhopal victim have right to know if Anderson, why was Anderson left alone? Why the Bhopal is still contaminated toxic waste, and why the government is burning down villages after villages in Chhattisgarh in the name of green hunt, and why notified slums are again demolished. So each of us has a right to know, and our villages have a right to know drinking water, no roof for child. So the school child studies in the tree. There are farmer suicides every day. There are 5-6 farmer suicides a day, and that's the dictate of government. So each of us has a right to know. Of course, coming back to our the city, traffic. Why does my passport not come on time? Drinking water. So all these questions, all these demands for information. So what could be the solution? Is there a solution by which we can transform our democracy? Yes, there is. And this is right to information. Something that has the potential, if used properly, to change how our country functions. Now what has right to information done in the last so many years, 7 years it has been in use. So it has done quite wonderful things, like it's in the following slides. We know about 3 big stalwarts of our democracy because of right to information. Starting with Adarsh to Commonwealth Games to Raja. So if not for right to information, their stories would not have come out. How Raja did, how Kalmadi did. In fact, Kalmadi is very famous in highlighting because there is a saying in Telugu which says, Kaledi Kalala Kanakam. So Kalmadi proved that nothing is ineligible for corruption, starting from Pali paper in the seed of influence. Right? So we would not have known what Kalmadi, we would not have known what Tadwaka did in our 5 years, except for going from country to country and spending 205 years. By the way, she is going on the last visit tomorrow. Right? And because of RTI, Pratibha Patil was forced to forego that land post-retirement. So all that because of one RTI application. In fact, some of you might have attempted CAT. You know the selection criteria must be fully right exam. That is possible only with party. 5 years ago, there used to be a black box. Input SR number, output will get selected. Nobody knows what happens to that. So the black box is out because of this. During the Telangana agitation, there used to be 2 platoons of CRPF in front of Arts College. Imagine 2 platoons of army in front of your apartment. How do you feel? So easy to control or suppress an agitation. This again out because of right information.
Right. A lot of success stories of right information. I don't want to go into details. The data board, TDS scams, various ways in which right information helped us solve problems, helped us make the system better. Right information has definitely helped make certain things better in the government. Like the service delivery has become better. Government record maintenance at certain places has become better. And it has exposed blatant misuse of power at various fora and initiated corrective action, like the Pratibha Patil case, where she kind of engrossed RV land, she was supposedly improving RV land. Now, what does it take to be part of this revolution? Now, I'll consider 10 rupee revolution. I'm sure all of you have 10 rupees near. Okay. So, we need a pen, a paper, a 10 rupee note, some common sense. Because, you need to write the application, write it in a proper way so that we receive the right information. And of course, like I said, though it is bloodless, we've had some artists, starting from Shera Masood, who have been killed, they have sacrificed their lives just because they wanted to export something. And it is probably in our hands if you want to make this a bloodless revolution or a revolution filled with blood. It's up to us. And finally, to end it, right information is, you could say it's a fire. And people use fire in different ways. Someone will use it to smoke a cigarette, to probably, light a lamp. So in various ways, the opportunity is ours. And right information has the real potential to transform democracy and to reclaim our democracy. Thank you.
So you guys, yeah, sure. So you guys understood something about right to information, but why you should actually seek information and all that.
Then you know.
Good. So you have any questions for Rakesh?
Right. We have time to have any questions, Girish?
We have time for
Two questions.
Depends on the answer.
Hello, I'm Kumar Shastri. Rakesh, I would like to know, you said RTA is very good tool. I agree with you to an extent. But I would like to know your take on the RTA position in Hyderabad or AP. Are you satisfied with the way it's being implemented?
No, I'm not. Not just Hyderabad, but Andhra. But like all acts, this asset is 7 years old, like a baby. So it's our duty to protect. So unlike other acts, this act is, I would say, dependent on more on demand than supply. Although it is supposed to be a different one. So I'm sure not more than 20 people have used right information. A safe estimate. So if 300 people in this room start using RTA, the system will automatically change.
No, this is the second part of it. You ask to file an RTA, you get information, everything is right. But you are not given the information within a stipulated time. The first two stages right. And after that it just lies down in the final letter. So what's the scope for that?
There is, like I said, there is no active scope. This act also has its own loopholes. One of the loopholes where the commission doesn't have any timelines. But like I said, again, if you have been following the Andhra Pradesh politics, the appointment of 8 people who had relations with some political parties was called only because of an agitation. Because people said, we don't want such type of commissions. So I think it is still possible. I'm not saying it's foolproof or it doesn't have its loopholes. It does have its loopholes. But I'm sure, today the state is receiving approximately 1 lakh RTA applications every year, 1 lakh, for a population of around 10 crores.
So I think you agree, this also is a half-baked cake.
Obviously, 7 years into that,
Not very, thank you.
still in the making. Which is why I said it's in the making. It's not a revolution that's planned.
Rakesh, I am Kailash from Hyderabad. The question to you, see here, I also agree with you, partially, not fully. In the society there is good and bad. At the same time, in the government also there are very committed and honest officers. At the same time, as you said, the other side. In the same way, the RTI, out of 10, there are 4 genuine RTIs and the 6, it is 6, there are somewhat intentional and it is misleading. So what is your opinion on that? As I said, in the RTI also, there is good and bad.
I would honestly disagree with you for one simple reason that there is nothing like genuine, non-genuine. That says anybody who is a citizen of this country, I'm sure all of us can seek information. And the officer who is in charge can deny it there are very good exemptions. You can use your mind, if the officer can use his mind, he can reject such information which he thinks is frivolous. So there is nothing like genuine, non-genuine, intentional, unintentional. Yes, people might use it in different. Somebody might ask information and keep it in his shelf. That's a different story. But I also tell you my experience. There are people who kind of started this reverse corruption story. Now there are officers who run after RT activists and pay them bribe not to file an application. I know of stories. Right? This is anyway probably good for
I think it's a closed mind.
which one? No, I'm just saying that, no? Right? There is nothing like genuine or non-genuine. If the officer can keep his mind, there are enough tools in the act itself, enough clauses where he can reject the application and the first go itself.
And somewhere you have said there is no timeline, but definitely there is a timeline of 30 days.
There is a timeline for the commission. I'm talking with the commission, not with the initial. Talking to the third level.
But I think we should be balanced, think about both the sides, okay?
No, which is what I'm saying. Honest officers will welcome this act. Dishonest officers will not welcome this act. I've seen it in my experience that people who are honest are very much ready and open to give out all the information they have, even before people ask them. But the ones who are corrupt, the ones who want to hide certain things, come up with all these stories of genuine, non-genuine harassment, blackmail. There is nothing like that. What is blackmail? Whatever you give under right information is fact. Let us understand that. So how can somebody use facts to blackmail? Only if you have done something wrong. Yes or no? I hope you agree with this. Yes. So if the officer has done something wrong, he has every reason to feel like he's being back. If he has done everything right according to procedures, he should have no qualms in giving out information. So I don't agree with this whole blackmail business. Yes, blackmail happens. People give money in return just because to hide their story. And people are making use of it. For 60 years it happened in one direction. Probably it's happening in the reverse direction.
See, now you get it. Thanks a lot, Rakesh.
Thank you, Rakesh. Do we have time for one quick question? Girish, Rakesh, do we have just one very quick question to the gentleman here?
Can you make it quick, please?
Yeah, the thing is that I just want to know the credibility of the information that is put out. I mean, how much credibility?
Fortunately, our officers are not forging. Fortunately.
No, the thing is
So
that you have told something about IIM, and I'm a graduate of IIM. So the thing is that this information has been found exactly the year later that I have joined IIM. So the thing is that if the information that is put up, if you look into the information that you were shortlisted, I wouldn't have been shortlisted. But the friend was cleared the cat exactly 1 year later. He didn't get a shortlist, he got a same profile as well.
criteria would have changed. You can ask for all such information. What was the criteria used? Who got how many
No,
marks?
but the thing is that there was no mention of changing the criteria from the past and the later one.
So they should have.
No, that,
I think they should have. I'm not aware of the exact case, but they should
पॉइंट है
have.
क्या चाहिए था
I'm saying the last 4 years people have taken CAT. I'm sure many of you will have observed the difference. 4 years ago there used to be no criteria. So suddenly somebody gets a call, somebody doesn't get a call. Not sure why. But today, even before the exam starts, every IIM puts out a PDF file saying this is my criteria. I need 7 years, sorry, these many scores in your graduation, your experience in job, etc. That was possible only because